Well, we're about 3/4 of the way through our kitchen remodeling project with Mike Tarvin of Tarvin Plumbing, and man, it's looking great. This floor's looking awesome.
Thank
you. You know, Mike, one question I get asked all the time is if I'm going to tackle a project myself, what order do I do things? And I guess the first thing is have a plan.
Well, yeah, I think that that's the same as the illustration of what we did here. The first thing that we did was come up with, some kind of a plan or sequence of events of how we're going to have the project progress. But in general, once you have a plan, you have to tear it out first.
And one of the advantages of working with somebody like Mike at Tarvin Plumbing really is the expertise. I know when we did that plan, you incorporated some things that maybe the homeowner wouldn't know, like adding a window where there used to be two, incorporating that brick wall into our plan. So after we got the plan, the next part is?
Tear it out.
Oh,
tear it out. And hopefully we've thought of everything in that sequence of events at that point, but sometimes there's some surprises and some things that you hadn't quite counted on being exactly the way they are when you tear it out. So build a little bit of extra time in there for the demolition, and once you've got it torn out, then you start putting it back together.
Right, and if you can recall, we tore out the wall. We had a pretty nasty looking ceiling. We had carpet on the ground. I mean, we had a skinny little galley kitchen, and now just look at it. So after the tear down is all complete, do the mechanicals go next?
Yeah, that would be the thing. The walls are open, the ceiling's open. Then you want to get your plumbing and your electric roughed in, anything else that's going to go into the walls mechanically, whether there's some HVAC, maybe some insulation. And then at that point, the next most logical thing is to close it back up, put back on the walls, the ceiling, get the drywall work done. And at that point,
do we paint right away, or?
Well, that depends. If you're a homeowner, if I'm a homeowner, I'm probably going to want to paint right about now. But most painters that we've worked with seem to prefer to wait until the end of the job and to be the last ones out.
That's because I think they have that talent of trimming.
They're a lot neater at painting than I am. So, we work with homeowners, and it kind of goes both ways. A lot of times, homeowner can come in at this point of the project, primer, do their own painting, with the knowledge that they may have to come back and do some touch-up after the cabinetry and everything's installed.
I think the last time we were here, you were putting the heated mat underneath the ceramic floor.
By the way, we can't see it now, but it exists underneath the floor.
So the flooring is the next step after the drywall's up?
Yeah. After we get the drywall done, then this is a chiseled travertine floor, and there's a heated mat here and over here that'll operate by a thermostat.
Okay.
So once we've got our flooring in, got the walls in, got the ceiling done, plumbing, electrics roughed in, then we're ready for the cabinets.
Now, Mike, why would I put the flooring wall to wall and then put cabinetry on top of this beautiful flooring?
Well, that's a good question, and I guess it can come down to a matter of opinion, and it can be done a number of different ways. I personally like to put the floor in the room, then have the cabinetry installed so that, number one, the cabinetry is on top of the flooring, it's at the proper height. Number two, who knows, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years from now, if something needs to be changed or we want to take a cabinet out or change it altogether, then there's no issues of having to try and patch in or redo a floor, or even if we had some of the tile, hard to say whether we could match it a number of years from now.
That's a good point. In fact, I ran into that issue one time with a dishwasher. And the floor, I hear you. Okay, I like that answer. Very good. Now, the cabinetry we chose is beautiful. In fact, even against that brick wall. This is a cherry?
Yeah, this is by Aristocraft. This is called Radford Cherry. The color is a saddle stain that's on the finish there. This is their Select series. We've got dovetailed joints on the drawers.
Is this stock cabinetry?
Yeah, this is stock cabinetry, and it's one of the products or one of the brands of cabinetry that I use a lot because I can get just about everything in the entire product line in 2 weeks' time. Any defective replacements, not that that ever happens, comes in about a week's time. The construction of the cabinetry from the bottom of the line to the top of the line is all pretty much the same, so there's the aesthetical difference between what wood type, what stain color, a lot of different choices.
Dovetail joints, the whole works?
Dovetail joints, 3/4 inch thick shelves on the wall cabinets.
And you can get plenty of options also for the corners and everything.
Yeah, it's built in 3-inch increments, and so if there's any odd spaces or anything, we can use fillers or trim to take that up, but works well.
Very good. I guess the next part of our project is the countertop.
Yeah.
I can't wait to see that. And a really good looking sink. Yes. If you're thinking about remodeling your project, this guy does a pretty good job at Tarvin Plumbing. Mike, thanks. Well, today's the day. You got it. Today's the day we unveil what our brand new kitchen makeover looks like. We're going to be joining up with Mike Tarvin. Tarvin Plumbing did this kitchen makeover. If you remember, we had a little skinny galley kitchen. We had an acoustical ceiling. We had a terrible floor. In fact, we had a terrible couple of rooms. We turned it into one big, beautiful kitchen. And here it is. Isn't it absolutely gorgeous? What a transition. And now we're going to join up and find out exactly what took place during our kitchen makeover. Well, Mike, I'll tell you what an outstanding job. You transformed that little galley kitchen, and look what we have. It is absolutely beautiful. Great job.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that. There were a lot of people that worked on a lot of different things in here to bring the final product together, and I couldn't be happier with the results.
It looks great. It looks absolutely great. All right, let's talk about a little bit of the components. Let's start with the cabinetry. Why did you choose this type of cabinetry?
Well, I think as we talked about before, it's Aristocraft cabinetry, and one of the biggest reasons that we chose it was the availability of timing. Some of its features like the 3/4 inch thick adjustable shelves and the dovetailed joints on the drawers at cabinetry that's relatively affordable and easy to obtain.
Affordable is right on top of a lot of folks' minds. Now, you also added some lighting here under the cabinet and above the cabinet.
Yeah, a number of different places. There's lighting above the cabinetry on top of the crown molding that can also serve as night lighting, fairly energy efficient when it's turned down with the rheostat. And then we've got some under the counter lighting here also to kind of brighten some of the dark areas in the nighttime.
Nice appliances too.
Yeah, we've got a microwave oven, stainless steel of course, and below there's a KitchenAid convection oven.
The refrigerator matches, the dishwasher matches. Tell me about the sink. Beautiful. You got all kinds of gadgets here.
Yes, we've got all kinds of things. The sink is an undermounted Lovella stainless steel sink. One large single bowl. There's a rack in the bottom of it for vegetable produce or production. Cool. And then we've got a filtered faucet here and a Moen kitchen sink faucet with a pull-down spray.
I love the arched window and the tile work up there.
Yeah, the backsplash was kind of a product in transition. We kind of got all of our ideas together and then went over it with the tile man, and he kind of came up with that idea as the best way to trim out the window.
I guess the one thing a lot of people have noticed is the countertop. Absolutely gorgeous countertop. Is this granite?
Well, yeah, of course this is a granite. It's called Golden Thunder. We've got like an OG filleted edge on the top of it, and gives a lot of transition, a lot of movement, a lot of color to the space.
And it really works well with the flooring here. This is also the heated flooring. If you watch the past episode, we were actually installing where it actually has wires where it kind of keeps
and we've had that on and tried it out, and it does get very warm in here. Of course, it's summertime. It's not a good idea right now, but it's nice to know in the winter that we'll have that to count on and to keep the floor nice and warm.
This is beautiful.
Backsplash, yes.
I don't remember this on the plans.
Well, this was kind of on the plans. It was maybe more in the imagination plans than it was anything that was planned out. And actually, we came up with a couple of different ideas there, and as we progressed through it, some of the ideas that we had didn't look as well in reality as they did in our minds. So kind of flex with that, and that's what the tile men and some others came up with for the backsplash, and very happy with it.
That's one of the things I'd like to reiterate too, is when you have somebody like Tarvin Plumbing doing the job, of course the design, but also the craftsmen you work with. You can make some changes, because every project, especially as old as this room was, there's going to be a couple adjustments made, no question about that.
I think that's a really good point, because you can buy cabinetry, countertops, and appliances anywhere. It's somebody to put the whole thing together. And like you said, we have an individual craftsman who did tile work and electrical work and the crown molding and the plastering and the painting, so on and so forth, and leaves us open to change things if we need to.
Attention to detail, even something as simple as the outlets with the black and the stainless steel covers. It just kind of pulls it all together. Now, you got one other part of the kitchen we haven't seen, and this part is really cool. And what do we got going on here?
A preparation area with a country sink with a chiseled edge on the front of Egyptian marble, nice big single sink, vegetables here, work on them here, and out the other side. Signature Hardware. Very unique items, and the sink obviously being one of them. Faucet came from Signature Hardware also.
I've been there. They got some great stuff. And one thing I'd like to point out, the attention to detail. Chiseled edge, countertop, on the sink, and you got it going on back here too.
Yeah, well, it actually started back here with the brick wall that was the original outside wall of the building. We took the plaster off, chiseled edge there, I don't know for sure that we had the thought process, but the final product is we've got kind of like a matching thing going on there.
Turned out great. How about the mantle?
The mantle was built by Mr. Paul Maui, and he took that and matched it to finish of the cabinetry and custom built it for the space to go in that we had.
Well, Mike, you did a great job, again, starting off with that little galley kitchen and the acoustical tile and the carpet on the floor and 2 rooms, and now we have this big, spacious, beautiful kitchen. And folks, if you have a kitchen that needs a little bit of attention, I think Mike Tarvin and Tarvin Plumbing can help you out.